What's up, everybody? I'm back with another video. I'm gonna be talking about beat block. Yeah, beat block. Something I've noticed that's becoming a common trend among producers and beat makers right now. So I'm gonna give you my take on beat block. So I hope you guys enjoy this video. But I also wanted to let you know that I actually talked about this on my podcast a few years ago. You can check that out. I'll leave a link down below. I go a little more in depth on it, but I just kind of felt like making a video as well, just to kind of make an updated version as well. A lot of the same stuff is on there, but I just wanted to do a video as well. All right, y'all. Hope y'all enjoy. What's up, everybody? It's your boy Reem, aka Reem Music, and I just wanted to make a quick video today to talk about a topic that I am all too familiar with, and that is beat block. I've noticed this has been a trending topic among producers and beat makers lately, and I've just kind of been noticing that a lot of beat makers have been going through beat block, and I just kind of felt compelled to kind of talk about it a little bit because well, if there's anyone that knows about beat block, that would be me. I experience it quite a bit. So anyways, I just wanted to give some tips and tricks and some advice, and also show you ways and how you can overcome beat blocks. So anyways, I just wanted to share that with you guys real quick. So let's get into it. So I've been making beats for about 12 years now. I'd say about since 2008. 2007 is kind of when I flirted a little bit with beats, but for me it wasn't official till about 08. And you know, what's amazing about it is the first, you know, couple years I was on sky high. I was floating, everything was going great. I mean, I would come up with stuff so easily. I had all this energy, so much creativity. I mean, it really took like little to no effort at all to come up with ideas for beats. I don't know if that's just the fact that I was younger or just getting started or whatever the case was, but anytime it came to making beats or coming up with ideas for beats, it just worked out just so easy and flawless. But fast forward to about 2 years later, I would say that things started to change. I noticed that things kind of started to change for me. It started to become a little more difficult to come up with ideas for beats. I would struggle quite a bit to just really do anything. And I just didn't quite know, at first, I didn't quite know exactly what it was that was causing me to struggle and to kind of go through these hard times when it came to beats. But then, you know, years later, as I reflected back, I remembered that I was going through a difficult time in my life. Just life, you know, changes, you know, life cycles, the ups and downs, you know, some other things were kind of going on in my personal life. And, you know, as I was reflecting back, and I really kind of just drilled it down, and I said to myself, that's basically what was causing my struggles to happen, because things got so bad for me that I really just did not want to make beats anymore. Like, I just couldn't come up with anything at all. And to make matters worse, my computer crashed. I had a PC at the time, and that just kind of made matters worse. And to me, that was just really the icing on the cake. I mean, like I said, prior to that, I would sit in front of my computer for hours and hours and days trying to come up with ideas for beats, and I just couldn't come up with anything. And I got so frustrated. And like I said, with my PC crashing, to me, that was just the icing on the cake. So I had two choices at that point: either quit making beats or take a break. And I didn't know what to do, so I just basically decided to take a break. So that was my first experience with beat block. I'd never really gone through that in my 2 years of making beats at the time. I've never gone through that before. So it was a real change for me. You know, it was a real challenge. It was something that I just wasn't used to and I wasn't familiar with, and I didn't really know how to handle it. So that was my first experience with beat block. So what causes beat block? You know, a lot of people ask that question. What causes beat block? Well, I feel like in order to know, you know, what causes beat block and how to overcome beat block, you first must know what beat block is. And according to Landr.com, I believe I'm saying that correctly, Landr.com, Their definition of beat block is when producers lose inspiration and struggle to come up with something new, is called beat block. And basically you can put that in the same category as writer's block. You know, if you're a writer or an author, it's basically the same thing as writer's block. And essentially what beat block and writer's block, what they are, it's basically a mental block. Really, when you drill it down and when it comes down to it, it's a mental block. And it's something that happens unexpectedly. You can be the most creative person in the world, but it just happens. I mean, it's odd. So again, you know, why does beat block happen? You know, I think the important thing to determine that is to ask yourself some questions. You know, ask yourself some questions like, you know, has anything changed? Am I working on my stuff hard enough? Am I working on it even too much? You know, am I working at my job even? You know, am I working more hours at my job? You can even you know, look at things like health. You know, am I going through some health issues? Fatigue has a lot to do with that. You know, if you're not if you're not getting enough sleep, that's going to affect you. You're not going to be as creative and you're not going to be as sharp. So just little stuff like even, you know, getting enough rest, that could play a big factor into having beat block. Another thing is are you using the same sounds over and over and you're just not really excited about them anymore? You know, are you digging for more samples? Are you digging hard enough? Are you trying to you know, step outside the box and look for other ways to find samples and not just using the same ones? If you play an instrument, are you maybe you know, practicing enough? Maybe you need to practice different scales or whatnot. You know, just different things, but really the questions. That's the main thing, is you need to ask yourself the questions, because you'll find that the answers are actually right in front of you. I mean, really, you know, it comes down to it. You could even ask yourself, like, you know, what happened to me? Is anything going on in your life? You know, are you going through any changes in your life? And like I said, just by asking yourself those questions, I really think that you will find the answers to that. So ultimately, lack of creativity is what causes beat block. That is the #1 reason why producers and beat makers face beat block. It's creativity, lack of. The best way to be creative is to find inspiration. That's the #1 way. You need that kick, you know, you need that aha moment, you know, you need something that gets you excited. You need that something that's gonna get you in the mood. You're gonna need something to influence you in a positive way to drive you to start making beats again. It's kind of like, I give the example of, you know, it's basically like that kid in a candy store type feeling, you know. Remember how that was when you were a kid? That's the feeling that you want. That's the feeling that you want to go for, because ultimately, like I said, it's creativity and it's excitement, and by having creativity, that opens the doors for ideas to come into your head so you can start producing. I actually had an example of, and this has happened to me a few times actually, while I'm working on a beat, what I call a project. If I'm working on a beat for an extended period of time, I look at it as a project. You know, it's something that I've been working on for a long time. I put a lot of hard work and effort into it, and I spend a lot of time on it. Well, what happens to me a lot of times during these long extended projects is I'll come up with other ideas for beats. Well, I don't like to multitask whenever I'm working on beats, because I want to give my full attention to what I'm doing so I can focus on the project in hand. But it is important to also multitask, because another big thing about creating is capturing. You know, you want to be able to capture ideas that come to you, and it can happen at any moment. You know, it can be random. You want to be able to capture whatever spark or idea that sounds good to you. You want to be able to capture that. So for me, you know, I'm working on a beat. I have an idea possibly for another beat. Go ahead and save it and stash it somewhere, because you never know when that idea might actually, come to help you in the future. And to be honest with you, you can do that right here on your phone. That's all you need. I mean, you can use your voice memos or your notes to save any ideas, because trust me, I'm on my phone a lot, like a lot of people, and I use my voice memos a lot. I mean, I can just show you here. I have so many voice memos that I've recorded over the years, and just little ideas, whether it's a melody, a drum loop, even just beatbox it in your phone. I mean, nobody will care. I mean, who cares, I mean, this could be your big hit. So use your voice memos and use your notes. Those are two great ways to capture ideas just on the fly. So I'm going to kind of give you some ways that I feel that will help you to overcome beat block. One is to explore. Get out and live. Go get out and live and do things. Now, I will say this, of course, we're in the middle of a pandemic, so you want to be safe, of course. You want to be careful, you want to be mindful, keep your distance, of course, wear your mask, always wear your mask. I don't leave home without my mask, and so if you're gonna get out and do things, please be careful and be safe, and of course, follow the guidelines. But I feel like it's important to get out and live, and whether that's going to the lake, seeing things, driving around, just do something to kind of get your mind off of beats a little bit, because I feel like that will help you to free your mind up. Another thing that will help with overcoming beat block is get rest. Just get some rest, man. Producers, beat makers, we're the worst, I feel like, when it comes to getting rest. We can go off of just a few hours of sleep and be good, but you don't understand in the long run that might actually come back to kind of hurt you. So get some rest, man. Just kick your feet up and just relax, get some shut-eye. That'll help you. Get out and meet people. Now again, we're in the middle of a pandemic, so you want to be careful. But of course, you can do FaceTime. You can use your computer to do Skype or whatever the case may be. There's different ways to talk to people, despite the things that are going on right now. Collab with people. I see a lot of beat makers that are collabing online, whether it's on forums or streaming websites, screen share websites, whatever the case is. Collab with people who share the same ideas you do, because you never know. It may just take having that one conversation that will get you in the mood and possibly beat your beat block. As I mentioned also too, if you're a sample head like me who digs in the crates a lot, usually I start with the sample when it comes to making a beat. But it's also important to look for different sounds. It's okay to switch it up. Beat makers, producers, if you're a hip hop head like myself, automatically, we're used to going to soul records, soul, jazz. Those are the two genres we always tend to lead off with first. But switch it up, man. Switch it up a little bit. It's okay to step outside the box and try something new, try something different. Even if it's just for experimenting, you never know, man. You might hear something in that record that you had no idea about, but it may work. So try to change it up a little bit. Try to find different sounds, and that may help you to overcome beat block. Also, another thing that I do sometimes is just kind of starting from scratch. Start with the basics. Now, of course, you don't have to start from complete scratch. I'm not saying like start off to like how you were before you started making beats. I'm not saying that, but just start with the basics. I mean, whether it's just simple stuff, looking up simple tutorials, because you got to think, man, that's the whole reason why you got into beats in the first place, right? Was just starting with the basics. Those are the things that kind of got you to want to make beats. Go back to that. Figure out what it was that inspired you to want to make beats in the first place. Because there's several different ways to get inspired, but you have to work on it, right? You have to work on it. You can't just expect inspiration to land on your lap. Matter of fact, Picasso, I'm sure many of you guys know who he is or who he was, but Picasso once said that inspiration exists but it has to find you working. And that is very important, you know, that's very important, especially in the you know, the era we live in nowadays with social media and just things kind of just being all over the place, especially now with the pandemic, of course, and everything. It's hard to find, it's hard to get inspiration sometimes. It's hard to get inspired, but you got to work, you know, work for it. Do the little things, because you never know. Like I said, it could just take just one little thing that will help you to get inspired. One thing I enjoy doing, as you can see in the background, is looking at relaxing videos. You know, whether it's you know, meditation, nature, you know, some scenic views. I enjoy, you know, watching relaxing videos, even when I'm not making beats. A lot of times I'll have them in the background when I'm making beats, but even if I'm just chilling at the house doing nothing, just to chill and unwind, you know, kind of free my mind up a little bit, those things help out a lot. So you don't have to do that, but again, find something different. You know, if you like to draw. If you like to paint, do that. If you like to do graphic design, or if you're a gamer, do that. You know, do other things that may help, because you know, your other hobbies that you enjoy doing, you can actually use that towards your beats, right? So don't think about your beats while you're doing those other things, but that may give you an idea for a beat. You see what I'm saying? It's kind of like whatever you do, you're circling that around for your beats. So don't automatically, like, you know, again, if you're a gamer, if you're playing video games, don't automatically think, oh, you know, I'm thinking about beats while I'm playing this game. No, you don't have to do that. But just out of the blue, you may see something or hear something that may trigger you and give you an idea for a beat. I don't know how many times it's happened to me when I've been out at the store, at the mall or whatever, and I'll hear something playing on the speaker, and automatically I'll grab my phone and boom, you know, I'll go to Shazam. You know what I'm saying? And now right there will give me an idea on the spot. So just live, man. You know, just get your mind free a little bit. I know me personally, I can sit in my room all day and make beats. But sometimes it's good to free yourself and free your mind away from that, because that may open yourself and open your mind and give you some ideas. So those are just some tips and tricks to try that may help you to overcome beat block. And just the last few things right fast. I feel like it's important to also to be confident and to, you know, just have faith in yourself. Be confident. Just know that, you know, beat block happens. It's just something that happens to everybody. Like I said, it doesn't matter how great you are. Beat block happens to everyone. You know, whether you experience it a little bit or experience it a lot, like me, beat block happens to the best of us, man. It's perfectly normal. Just know that, and just be confident, have faith that you're gonna get through this beat block. And you know what? You can also embrace it too. You know, you can look at it as a life experience, and you know, you can look back later on and say, you know, hey, you know what? How did I do through this challenge? And you know, you may be able to help someone else down the line that may go through that. So, but be confident during the block, and just know that you will eventually get over it. And finally, to wrap it up here for my take on beat block, I can tell you the number one thing that's actually helped me when it's come to any beat block that I've ever had, and to be honest with you, I'm actually going through it right now. I finished a project about a month and a half ago, and I had an idea and I didn't save it. So here I am a month and a half later, I'm going through beat block. But I can tell you that the number one thing that has helped me through any beat block that I've been through, and again, I don't want to get too religious or anything like that, but pray. I feel like prayer is important. Just even if it's just a few minutes, you know, take a few minutes just to even meditate, or, you know, like I was explaining with those videos, just to kind of relax your mind. Just have some time to yourself. Deep breathing is another great exercise that we all need to do, honestly. But for me personally is prayer. Prayer has helped me out in so many ways. I can't explain to you guys. You know, I truly believe in God, and just outside of beats, all the stuff that I've been through, if it wasn't for God, if it wasn't for my faith in God, if it wasn't for you know, my relationship with God, I would not have gotten through all those things. So again, I don't want to get too religious on y'all, but prayer for me is the #1 thing that has got me through any beat block I've been through. All right, guys, well, that's just a few things I wanted to talk about. Like I said, I've noticed that a lot of producers and beat makers are going through beat block right now. I don't know if it's just all the stuff that's going on in the world right now, which is completely understandable, but I get it, trust me. And like I said, I've been making beats for 12 years, and trust me, I go through beat block a lot. It's something I'm used to, so it is what it is. All right, guys, well, let me know what you guys think. I'd love to hear how you guys are able to overcome beat block, some of the things you do to overcome it. I'd like to get your take on it as well, so yeah, hit me up and let me know. All right, guys, well, thanks once again for joining me. Hope you guys all stay safe. Peace, God bless, keep God in your life, and I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.